It's actually more than just ignore it. What does it mean to shoo it away? What's that? Get rid of it. Yeah, get out of here. Get the broom. Go on, get the. You shoo the depression away. So how might that work? How does the person shoo depression away?
You get mad at like whoever's depressed.
Ooh. So maybe you chase the person who's depressed away. I'm sad. Get out of here. That's one way. How else? I heard something.
Maybe by like if someone is depressed and they're like coming to you and telling you about the problems and you're just like, oh no, you're just telling them not to feel that way or not validating their feelings.
Yeah. That usually works pretty well, right? Don't feel the way you feel. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Don't come to me. I'm not a therapist. Yeah, that just makes things even worse. Like, like obviously you're not, but it's just like, oh, why are you telling me this? I'm not your therapist.
That's harder even too. Yeah, I'm not your therapist. Get out of here. But you're my friend. But I'm not your therapist. Two different people. Now leave. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I encourage everyone to try that sometime. Just tell someone, don't feel the way you feel. When someone's upset, you know what you should do? You should stop being so sad. Dude, how come why didn't I think about
You're gonna
this?
make us lose friends.
What's that?
You're gonna make us lose friends.
That's fine, you'll have more time to study. Get rid of all those friends. Or even worse, by the way, we're focusing on how we do this to other people. We're thinking of depression that's coming to us in the form of other people. But it also comes to us in our own forms. And how do we shoo away depression in ourselves? We change our mind. Oh, I need to get my mind off of this. No, you don't need to get your mind off of it. It's just like just as absurd if someone comes to you and is depressed or actually any emotion. If someone's upset with you or depressed or frustrated or anxious, and not even about you, but about anything in general, and you give them that advice, just don't feel the way you feel. I mean, it sounds really coarse when you say it like that, but that's what you're doing. Like when someone comes to you and is like, hey, I'm feeling kind of down. You know what? We need to get your mind off of it. Let's go fill in the blank. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just not saying those same words. You don't feel the way you feel. When the event is over, if you're like, hey, you're depressed, let's go party, or let's go on a hike, or whatever thing in between you decide to do to try to get rid of a person's depression, all that depression does is just wait. And then as soon as you leave and that door closes, depression's like, bye, boom, door closes. So where were we? And you go right back to it. Because you haven't dealt with the thing itself. It's like, oh my goodness, I have tuberculosis. You know what you should do? What? Stop having what you have. And we should go for a hike, we should go party. And as soon as that person leaves, you're still coughing up blood. Because tuberculosis doesn't just go away like that. Neither does any ailment. You can't just, distract yourself from it. In fact, in some cases, like, you ever have a cold? Does anybody get a cold anymore, or is it always COVID? You ever have flu, cold, something like that, and you take cold medicines for it? Like Dayquil, NyQuil, something like that. A lot of people think that when you take those things, that there's something in that medicine, because we call it medicine, which is not really medicine. Medicine is something that actually cures your ailment. Those things don't cure your ailment. There's nothing in any of those cold medications that actually helps you get rid of the cold. What it does is it suppresses the symptoms. So it stops you from coughing. But the thing that your body wants to cough away is still in you. Your body is just, these things are just sending these neurological signals, are depressing your neurological signals that want to cause your body to cough. If you're feeling you have some body aches, there's acetaminophen in there which gets rid of the body aches. You're still sick. You're still, and it can even be a worse thing because it's like, I don't want to feel the way I feel, so you drink half a bottle of Dayquil, and then you feel okay. And because you feel okay, what do? Well, you go back to work, you go back to school, you go back to doing whatever it is that you were doing before. And now you've actually made things worse, because now you've run your body down more. It didn't have a chance to fight the infection. So now, when those medicines are out of your body and you're no longer feeling those effects, Now you feel twice as bad. So now what do? You take more medicine. You know? What they really are is they're symptom suppressors. Not even a symptom. I don't even like using the word relievers because they don't get rid of them. They just suppress them. And we can think of anything that we're doing to try to shoo away or suppress our depression in the same way. We're actually making it worse because your body, you know, just like how your body now can't fight the cold because it's, you know, because you're running around and doing all that other stuff. In the same way, you haven't really treated the depression. All you've done is just kind of pushed it off. And in fact, you've probably made it worse. Because now you want to know why 2 or 3 days later, or a week later, 2 weeks later, you're still depressed. Because you haven't dealt with the thing itself. You haven't dealt with the depression. So how do you deal with the depression? Well, first things first. Don't shoot away. That's the first thing you have to do. Oh my God. Does that mean I have to face it? Uh-huh. Yeah. And that's exactly what it means. You have to face it. Like any challenge in life, you have to face it. You can't just ignore it. It'll show back up. If she turns up, so if depression turns up, he says, don't shoo her away. And by the way, a woman in black, probably, yeah, she represents depression, true. But also, someone who's wearing black is mysterious. You don't really know. You know, there's something about it, there's a level of mystery to it. That's the idea. If someone's wearing red, you can kind of guess what mood they're in. If someone's wearing orange, yellow, things like this, you can kind of get, even white, you can kind of guess the mood that they're in. Black is kind of this mysterious color. It could mean almost anything. And so, she shows up, don't shoo her away. In fact, invite the depression in. Come on in, let's talk. Offer her a seat. Be cordial, be kind. She's trying to tell you something. Treat her like a guest. And how we treat guests, what do you need? You know, you're kind towards them. You're accommodating. And then listen to what your depression wants to say. Because your depression is trying to tell you something. Your depression is trying to tell you something. Kind of like when you have, if you're sitting there and you go, because you have a sniffle, what is your sniffle trying to tell you? You're sick. It's telling you that you have an infection. And it's trying to warn you about that. When you get a fever, the problem in your life is not the fever. The problem in your life is the infection that's causing, well, not even causing the fever. It's the infection in you that the fever is a response to. Your body's responding to that thing. You have to get rid of the virus that's causing the fever. You have to get rid of the virus that's making your body want to cough to get rid of it. This is the problem. I hope you see that with the medications. They just get rid of the reaction. They don't get rid of the core thing. So your depression is trying to tell you something. And it's not that the depression is the problem in your life. The depression is the symptom of what's going on in your life. There's something else that's underneath there. You know, it's kind of like if you are, let's say that you lie a lot to your friends. You make up stuff, like you tell them, oh, I've run a marathon before. You run a marathon? Oh yeah, one time, a while back. Yeah, but yeah, I did a marathon. That lie tells you something about yourself. What does it tell you? Besides that you're a liar. It tells you that you are somebody who wishes they ran a marathon. So what can you do about yourself? Go run a marathon. Now you can go and be the person who you're pretending to be. We can tell a lot about ourselves by the people that we pretend to be in front of others. You can pretend to be an honest person, but behind their backs maybe you're not. So what should you do? Well, start being honest. Oh, but it's difficult. Well, of course it's difficult. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's like I say about this class, if it was easy, it'd be 5th grade. But it's not. It's more than that. Anything in life that's worthwhile is difficult, especially if you're going against a lifetime of conditioning and training. If our whole lives we find out that we're depressed and then we're, you know what, I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with it. Let me just kind of get rid of it. Let me just shoot it away. Well then, yeah, all that stuff is going to build up. And at some point, it's going to flood out. Wouldn't it be better to deal with the streams along the way rather than the big dam bursting? Think of that. The kind of lies that you tell people about you. Because again, they reveal something to us. Depression is the same way. It's revealing something to you. There's something deeper. So you have to question it. Find out what the source of it is. Look for it. Maybe it's chemical. Maybe it's chemical. In other words, maybe antidepressants are going to help. And if antidepressants are the thing they're going to get you through today, then you should take antidepressants probably. Talk to your doctor. But you should probably take them. Because you have to be around tomorrow in order to make the day after that better. So, but if it's not that, if there's something else going on in your life, that's how you find out. You question it. You know, not question in the sense of like, am I really depressed? But get down to the core of it. And then once you deal with that thing, you'll be much better off for yourself, of course, because it's not going to keep coming back to you. And even better, you're now going to be of use to other people as well. Because everyone kind of goes through these things. And what you're going to find is that some of the best stuff that you can do for someone who's going through a difficult time is to just listen. Hang out. Ask them some questions. Talk to them. So, I'll leave it at that. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques?